Gotta stay grounded when the days turn green, because the danger ain't the losses everybody fears. Sometimes it's success that blinds your eyes and clouds your ears. I used to chase results, now I focus on execution, because consistency is built through process, not emotion. Every chart a glass room, every candle got a lesson. Every session starts reminding me to stay invested in progression.
Back to the process, back to the way, back to the habits that carry the day. Green days come, green days go. Wisdom decides what remains when they go. Back to the process, back to the plan. Forever a student, that's who I am.
I remember empty rooms and talking to myself, building brick by brick when nobody else helped. Now the numbers look better, the lessons got larger, but success can become an even tougher teacher, because pride grows quietly. It don't knock at the door, but slips into winning streaks and starts asking for more. Proverbs on the desk, coffee by the screen, reminding me humility is stronger than it seems. The fool says,
I'm thinking it out.
I arrived. The wise man keeps learning, keeps the curiosity alive. Every loss paid tuition, every win paid rent. Both of them teachers, if you listen to what they meant. The crowd loves prediction. I respect preparation, because tomorrow's opportunity belongs to dedication.
Back to the process, back to the way, back to the habits that carry the day. Green days come, green days go. Wisdom decides what remains when they go. Back to the process, back to the plan. Forever a student, that's who I am. Lord, if the blessings grow, don't let the roots go shallow. If the winds keep coming, keep my spirit walking narrow. If the doors swing open, keep my heart in place. Let gratitude grow deeper than the prophets that I chase. Because euphoria fades, but wisdom remains.
Character is revealed
When success starts to reign,
the ant stores grain before the winter arrives. Preparation keeps her.
vision alive.
Small steps repeated become stories we told. That's how ordinary days become silver and gold.
Some chase the spotlight,
Some chase applause.
I'm chasing consistency. Under the cause. SmartAction Trading. SBI circle standing strong.
Teaching traders discipline long after trends are gone.
The market will change,
The seasons will turn,
but every cycle leaves another lesson learned.
so when the green days come, I enjoy them with grace and show up tomorrow and return to my place. Ain't no
Go back to the process, back to the way, back to the habits that carry the day. Green days come, green days go. Wisdom decides what remains when they go. Back to the process, back to the plan. Forever a student, that's who I am. SmartAction Trading, my strikers. Stay the course, stay the course. Plant the seed, my strikers. Trust the word, stay the course. And we're learning, ever growing. SmartAction Trading, stay the course. Every striker, stay the course.
Stay the course.
Yeah.
SmartAction Trading,
S-Pie strikers.
stay the course,
Stay the course.
stay the course,
The fruit don't grow the day you plant the seed.
stay the course,
The market can bless you, the market can humble you.
stay the course.
Drink candles, dancing, got the whole room alive. 3 wins in a row, got me feeling like I can fly. But I've seen euphoria turn a blessing to a curse. When confidence outruns discipline, things get worse. Winning streaks whisper, you don't need the rules today. That's the same voice that slowly pulls the wise astray. The market don't care about the wins from last week. It rewards preparation, not the highs that we see.
SmartAction Trading.
It's
They told us chase fast money,
Bad money,
worship greed,
love for trading,
panic with the crowd,
calling Babylon,
you don't fit.
distraction and emotional slavery,
But discipline,
patience,
wisdom,
wisdom,
that's how you escape the system.
SmartAction Trading.
Yeah. Jericho walls falling when my faith get louder. Used to trade emotional, now my spirit's stronger. Joshua rebuilding while they doubted every step. Now the pressure build diamonds every time I get tested. Escaping Babylon,
I can live chain of fear,
market full of idols.
I just walk with vision clear,
Planting seeds of silence.
while they chase attention.
Labor bring the harvest when you move with intention. was to chase every candle like the move of salvation. Lost inside the noise, trapped in desperation. Babylon system got the masses moving blind. Over leveraged souls getting swallowed by the grind. See, the charts became mirrors showing pride and greed. Every red candle exposed what's inside of me. Had to crucify emotion, let discipline arise. Cause my Vans trading killed quicker than a thief at night.
Jericho standing tall like impossible resistance, but faith make walls go after consistent persistence. Joshua marching even when it made no sense. The patience in the walking when you wait for confirmation. See the weak chase entrance, the wise wait calmly. Person either burst pipes or create kings sharply. Now I move strategic like the shepherd with the stone. Gave me birth to giants every morning at the hope it don't fold. In the wilderness, the promise still ahead. Every loss ain't destruction. Sometimes God rebuild a traitor instead.
Jericho walls, following my faith get loud. Used to pray emotional, now my spirit strong. Joshua rebuilding while they doubted every step. Now the pressure build diamonds every time I get them tested. Escaping Babylon, I can live, train to fear. Market full of idols, I just walk a vision kid. Planting seeds of silence, trying to chase attention. Labor bring the harvest when you're moving intention.
I seen traders worship poverty like a golden calf. Lose themselves chasing candles, moving way too fast. The wisdom worth more than silver and the gold. The disciplined mind worth more than what's inside your palm. Following up a lot harder when I say I had the right resistance. Market levels and the chains that kept protecting my decisions. Now to set a cleaner, spirit moving sharper. Every setback became fuel for moving smarter. They panic with the crowd when the headlines hit. The move they know were building while they left that hit. Scraperating look foolish before the rain arrived. But survivors think different when they fighting to survive. Fast seasons feeling buried underneath the pressure. The seeds gotta die before they multiply forever. That's kingdom mathematics, that's the Lord's own reaper. Patient trader eat, non-emotional trader sleep.
It's bigger than trading.
It's about mastering yourself.
Anybody can enter a trade.
You can conquer emotion.
Escape Babylon.
The cycle.
Move with wisdom.
Build with faith.
SmartAction Trading.
For educational and inspirational purposes only. Trading involves substantial risk of loss. Not financial advice. Matthew 25.
Parables of the talents.
Let's talk stewardship.
Have to cry a voice.
Well done, good and faithful servant.
Multiply what heaven entrusted.
Fear, bury the gift. Welcome Matthew 25. Red letters spoken. Kingdom parable. Hidden truth open. MasterCard service be for travel abroad. Place resources in their hands before departing far.
2, 1, 7.
5 talents to build.
To another 2.
According to skills.
To another 1 talent.
Measure was assigned.
Each according to ability at the time.
First servant when it multiplied quick. Second did the same with discipline, risk. The third got fearful, dug into the ground. Bury what was given, never moved around. See, the story ain't really only cash. It's stewardship, purpose, time, and craft. What you do with opportunities in hand defines the fruit produced from the plant.
Don't bury the talent in the dirt below.
Feel they keep on ever
Truly grow.
market rise.
Market crash.
Still control your soul.
Stewardship and patience over chasing gold.
5 became 10.
You became 4.
Faithful with little now.
I entrust in more.
But the servant ruled by fear stood still. Never multiplied the gift or the skill. Young trader staring at the future's low.
Future's low.
Thinking every green candle guaranteed dough. Loaded contracts, hit no risk plan set.
Flip through the whole account, chasing internet flex.
Then he had
Well done.
good and faithful servant.
Then it hit people in surface work.
It's faithful ain't gambling, records with greed. Faithful means protecting and managing seed.
In trading.
There's a difference clear between
Wise execution and emotional fear.
one trader over trade.
Every move in sight.
Another waits patient for setup diet.
One risks everything.
Time double overnight.
Another grows slow.
With discipline tight.
That's the parable
was mine.
Never took responsibility with time. See, fear can't freeze potential still.
Just like greed,
Overtrade skill.
both extremes can lead to loss. Wisdom works sinner through every cross.
In markets and like that principle stand. Be faithful with what's inside your hand.
Not everybody calls
To flip overnight.
sometimes growth come little by little, despite.
Don't pay the coward in the dirt below.
Protect the seed
And watch it grow.
Trading test discipline deep in soul. From wisdom and patience, sustain control.
Body game tense.
To be grateful.
Faithful stewardship. Open doors. Happy 25.
Chapters still.
Like happy 25.
Lessons timeless.
Multiply wise.
Happy 25.
14, 30.
Parable of
The talents.
educational and inspirational purposes only.
Trading involves substantial risk. Manage risk carefully.
Protect your peace.
Your purpose and your capital.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to love June. Thought every breakout was forever. Till the cycle taught me patience. Inspired by the market seasonality breakdown. I used to love
I met June back when the candles moved slow. Summer breeze blowing while the future stayed green glow. She wore red and green glasses made her moving averages. Talking Fibonacci, whispered through the algorithm. Said,
Maybe that's a midterm.
"You don't get caught sleeping. The market give it quick, then it take it every weekend." I laughed.
Young trader with a dream and a laptop.
Thought every breakout candle met the top pop.
Back then, AI was the new gold rush.
Every tickle brand and every dip I bought up.
NVIDIA,
In the heavens,
that spike is an odds.
everybody on the timeline yelling.
Bye, bye, bye.
June looked nervous when the yields went higher. News anchor screaming while the bulls breathe fire. She
Told me,
the Starbucks lit is where momentum bends.
summer stars free.
But it don't always trend.
I ain't listen.
I was chasing as it moved on the 1-minute chart. Revenge trading losses with emotion in my heart. Thought discipline was something old head say online. Till liquidity swept me life through times at 9.
I used to love June. Thought the market only moved one way. Green candles in the sky all day. Till the cycle came and took my peace away. I used to love young. Midterm winds started changing tone. Now the chart feel colder than before. But the smart money already knows.
Then she showed me history hidden in the tape. Every 4 years the market changes shape. Year 1 shaky,
Year 2 full of stress.
year 3 the blessing.
Year 4 excess.
Said watch the pattern,
Jump.
slump then pump. Q1 got the traders acting drunk. Summer come around and the volume dry up. False breakouts, every their accounts died up. She pointed at October like a prophet in the rain. Said the strong survive, draw down pain.
Cause the election cycle got a rhythm of its own. Wall Street dancing while the weekend's gone.
I started seeing things different.
Stop treating,
Trading like a lottery ticket.
started respecting levels, waiting for reclaim.
Understanding every chart don't deserve a trade.
Now I watch spread,
Not just hype online. Watch bonds and volatility
with the dollar signs. Cause even in bullish times, the market breathes.
and every parabolic move eventually needs release. Respect the trend.
But don't worship the candle.
Summer got traps in designer clothes.
Patience pays more than prediction.
Yeah, you call me on the future's open like you'll
Finally learn how if you set up gold.
And I told her, now I wait for confirmation.
Less dopamine,
More preparation. The young bull still screaming new highs forever. But I remember 2022 pressure. How fast euphoria can turn to fear.
how one headline can change the whole year.
Still, I ain't very just wider now. Learn the market humbles
Every crown.
And if the summer pulls back with fear in the air, that might be the blessing for the ones prepared. Cause year 3 historic where the money expands. Comes to action rally like a promised land. So if June get ugly, I won't panic at all. Sometimes a setback just setting up to fall. Now I respect that. This cycle always talking. Most traders just too the charts went dark. When the road got narrow, he was there.
Jesus is the answer.
I spent years chasing numbers on a glowing screen, thinking one more win would finally make me complete. Burning after green candles like they could save my soul. But prophets make a poor God when they're sitting on a throne. Build my house on sand, watch the tide roll in. Learning every earthly kingdom has an end. Some valleys look so deep, I couldn't see the light. Some storms got so strong, I couldn't wait to fight. But every time I thought my story might be done, I felt the hand of mercy say, my child, keep
Walking on.
not because I'm worthy,
Not because I'm worried.
not because I'm strong,
Not because I'm strong.
but because the shepherd
Never share.
never leaves his own. Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way.
The anchor in the storm when the market starts to sway. Through the highs and lows,
Through the joy and pain.
the cross still stands when
Everything goes fake.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Yesterday and now, the King who walks beside us through every valley found. Yeah, there were nights I sat alone.
Every man.
There fear inside my chest.
So bold.
Questions without answers.
Answers.
Battles without rest. The shadow of death felt close enough to touch.
But Psalm 23.
Kept reminding me to trust. Though I walk through valleys dark as midnight skies, I will fear no evil, for you're right by my side. The rod and the staff, the comfort and grace, the God of resurrection meeting me in that place. I've seen doors swing open that no man could unlock. I've seen peace show up when logic said it could not. I've seen mercy,
Life story I could never write.
turning broken chapters into testimony and life.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way.
The anchor in the storm when the
Market's about to sway.
through the highs and lows,
Through the joy and pain.
the call still stands when
Everything else fades.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Yesterday and now, the King who walks beside us through every valley's found.
If you're tired of running.
If you're carrying change,
If you're searching for purpose.
in success or in fame,
The good news is
the
simple.
debt has been paid. Jesus took our place upon the cross that day.
3 days later.
The stone rolled away.
Death lost its victory.
The grave could not stay.
Whoever believes.
Whoever will come
Will find forgiveness in the Father's
I
Son.
still trade, I still work, I still plan and prepare, but my hope is eternal and the outcome is dead. Because fortunes rise and fortunes fall,
Christ remains Lord over all.
the market can give,
The market can take
but eternity rests.
on a different step.
So when the candles flicker,
And uncertainty grows.
so remember the one who's already in control,
The Lamb who was slain.
the King who will reign
The Alpha and Omega.
forever the star.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way.
The anchor in the storm.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Forever and ever.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the way.
Jesus is the answer.
The answer.
Jesus is the
Jesus is the
answer.
answer. Though I walk through the valley.
You are with me.
Shadows surround me.
You are with me.
Through the valley.
Jesus is the answer.
Jesus is the answer.
Forever and ever.
Amen.
Amen.
Yeah. Smart action on the boards tonight. SPY strikers in the building. We're gonna take it back to the roots. Options 101, but make it rhythm.
Option scenario. Option scenario. Learn the game before the candle stereo. Pause and puts, spreads and barriers. Creeks in the shadows trying to marry up. Option scenario.
Option scenario.
Premium burn can embarrass you.
Trade with a plan, don't gamble, warrior.
Price action first before hysteria.
Yeah. Monday morning market look alive.
Young trader Joe try and learn how to survive.
Open Open this app, seen green and red flicker.
Hard options meant getting rich quicker.
OG stepped in like, slow down, son.
This ain't lottery tickets.
It's just not luck.
He said a call means you're bullish on price.
You think stock going up?
Then call Sound Eye.
Buy one contract.
That's 100 shares.
But theta eat alive if you
Unprepared.
Joe said.
So did things price gon' fall.
OG nodded slowly like,
Yeah, that's all.
calls for the upside.
Good for the drop.
But timing and volatility.
Control the clock.
Hey.
Option scenario.
Option scenario.
Option scenario.
Option scenario.
IV spikes can terrify ya.
One bad trade.
Can simplify ya.
Discipline the only thing qualify ya.
Then the room got smoky. Jazz got low. Charts on the screen started moving slow. OG drew symbols on a legal pad. Said these freaks turn good. Trades bad.
That'll tell how fast.
Option move.
Near 1.0.
Then and then we stop move.
Better.
That's time, decay pressure. Every single day your premium get lesser.
Vega.
Volatility, emotion. When earnings hit premium. Deep as ocean. Gamma. Gamma.
Acceleration force.
Price move hard.
Delta shift core.
Show looks just like man, this complex.
OG lab.
That's why risk come next.
Slow down branching.
No chase every move.
Market makers testing.
If you really smooth,
One can to rise.
another one fade.
Protect your capital before another trade. Risk management.
Protect your soul.
Smart position sizing.
Keep your spirit whole.
Cause revenge.
Trading.
Take control.
Bend margin call.
There.
Come collect the toll.
Yeah, now Tuesday hit and the market got wild.
Joe came back more disciplined style.
OG said single leg,
Cool some fun.
but spreads help survive.
Rough climbing. Credit spread collect. Premium first.
But the fine prints keep account from curse.
Debit spread con money up front. But cheaper than naked contracts, huh?
Behind condo,
If market goes sideways.
strangle or straddle on
This was a Friday.
covered calls, my long-term holder.
Cash secured puts for patient soldier.
Don't start to seeing the structure clearer. Stop acting emotional.
Track got nearer.
Meanwhile, pill,
While EMA crawl.
me finally learn.
Why beginners get lost.
Yeah.
Option scenario.
Option scenario.
Option scenario.
Option scenario.
Candlesticks become your oracle.
Support resistance historical. Every setup.
Ain't honorable.
Option scenario.
Option scenario.
Option scenario.
Trade journal look like memorial.
Till you build a system audible, then consistency becomes
Territorial. Now Friday go. Market bells ring. Joe ain't rich, but learned everything. OG smile line. That's the first win. Most blow accounts before they begin.
understand probability.
And flow.
Don't overleap it.
Just because it glow.
Wait for confirmation.
Not anticipation.
Patience be.
Impulsive speculation.
Technicals matter.
Volume trend.
Once psychology decide.
The end.
Joe back charge.
Tenders back slow.
Finally understood the game.
Ain't YOLO.
It's discipline.
Risk, process, execution.
That's the real option.
Scenario. Best spot strikers.
SmartAction Trading.
Learn the foundation before the fireworks. Trade safe. Trade smart. Dominate the charts.
End of the week now. Market's still breathing. Agree to take your whole account if you let it. Friday ain't the day to prove something. It's the day to protect something. Ramp down Friday, keep the wrist tight. Small size, clean mind. Live to trade life. Only one bad play. Take the whole week. Slow feet, calm breath, discipline speaking. Ramp down Friday, market move slick. One bad candle, make a grown man quit. Take the base hit, don't chase that high. Pay yourself first when the week run dry. Seen traders up green by Thursday night, then revenge trade Friday. Now they count on the ice. A whole week solid, then emotion took real. Now they forcing every setup that don't even look real. Market got rhythm, gotta move at the pace. Friday got traps hitting all over the place. Low volume fake ups, lunchtime drift. One headline drop and your whole trade shifts. So breathe when you enter. Patience you enter. Don't need templates just to feel like a winner. Sometimes the best trade, really no trade. Close the laptop, protect what you made. Cause the market gon' open again Monday morning. No need for heroics when the candle's still forming. You already won if you stay disciplined. Consistency worth more than adrenaline. Ramp down Friday, keep the wrist tight. Small size P, my lift to trade height. Don't let one bad play, take the whole week. Slow feet, calm breath, discipline speak. Ramp down Friday, market boot slick. One back candle, make a grown man quit. Take the base hit, don't chase that high. Pay yourself first when the week run dry. Everybody wanna screenshot profits. Nobody posts when they overtrade losses. Ego in the market get humble real fast. Especially Friday when momentum don't last. So cut the size down maybe half the day. Protect the mental, let the pressure fade. Cause overconfidence dangerous too. Especially after a strong week carry you. Green week cool, never serve the game. Don't let greed turn sunshine into rain. This game marathon, out of quick limit. Survival first before championship. Trade lighter, think sharper, move wiser, not harder. A sniper don't spray every candle he see. He wait for alignment in her probability. So if the setup weak, let it breathe. No FOMO, entries off social feeds. Cause peace hit different when the weekend clean. No stress on your chest when the profits redeem. Yeah, some of the best traders know when to slow down. Friday ain't about getting rich. It's about staying rich mentally. Protecting your edge, protecting your peace. Yeah. Ramp down Friday, keep the wrist tight. Small size clean line, live the trade light. Don't let one bad play, pick the whole week. Slow feet, calm breath, discipline speak. Ramp down Friday, market boot slick. One bad candle, make a young man quit. Take the base hit, don't chase that high. Pay yourself first when the week run dry. Trade safe, trade smart. Trade safe, trade smart, trade smart. Mama used to ask me why I stayed up so late. Staring at them candles like they choosing my fate. Laptop light glowing all across the room. Trying to make a way before the rent come due. Had dreams bigger than the town I was in. But pressure make it hard just to trust within. Everybody see the wins on the green days. Nobody see the tears on the red days. Nobody see the losses I was hiding inside. All the nights I questioned God in my whole life. Would've quit 100 times if it wasn't for faith. Cause David had valleys before giants got slayed. It ain't in front of how the strongest look calm. Even while it carrying the weight through the storm. Used to think success was catching every big move. Now I know survival just mean knowing when to lose. On the red days, I still pray. God kept me through the heartbreak. Walk valley, fought giants. Still standing, even through the silence. And one day, we gon' smile at all this pain. A special makeover from the rain. Yeah, grandma said, boy, don't let money control you. Kept the matter more when the world don't know you. That hit different after blowing them trades. Humility came after ego got flamed. See the market teach lessons like scripture do. Pride come quick when the winds get huge. Then one bad week make you question your gift. Like Peter in the water when his clothes get slipped. Friends stopped calling cause they didn't understand.
charts and trading plans, but every dream requires sacrifice and pain. Even Joseph had presents before the rain. Now I see allowances, wasn't really losses. God was building wisdom through every process. Had to learn patience, had to slow down, had to lose myself before I got found.
Through the valley,
I learned who I was. Not every closed door mean failure.
on the red day,
Sometimes God protecting you. Sometimes the loss.
ain't punishment.
Sometimes it's preparation.
On the red days,
I still believe
even one your market took from me. 'Cause giants
still fall.
when faith's stronger than it all. And someday,
We gon' tell the story proud.
our God pulled us from the valleys out. Hold on,
You're too close. Don't quit now.
don't quit now. Hold on,
You're too close. Don't quit now.
don't quit now.
Yeah.
5:30 in the morning. Drives blowing, coffee cold. Another trader chasing the market. No structure, no discipline.
Just emotion.
Until everything changed. Yeah. Shockwave 15 changed the way I see the charts. From chaos to structure every morning when it starts. One system, 1 hour, now the pressure gone. Used to chase candles, now I wait till price confirm. No more gambling at the open. Check wait for fear and emotion. Master trading the open, now my mindset different. Used to trade with emotion, now my execution scripted. Used to wake up anxious, forcing every move. Twitter saying break out, so I drunk with no proof. Green 1 minute, read the next candle. Account swinging wild, couldn't handle the gamble. Fake breakout, stop one.
Flush down.
SP wild with both sides, now I'm emotionally shut down. Revenge trading lunchtime, trying to make it back. Oversized positions, turn my focus black. Every morning, same pain, same cycle. No rules, just dopamine and survival. Watch another trader's post profits online.
Meanwhile,
My confidence dying inside. Market open sounding like war in my head. Hard racing every candle.
turning red.
4 more inches off a 5-second move. No patience, just hoping the market approve. Then chop hit, and the profits disappear.
All week dream,
Then Friday bring fear.
couldn't trust myself.
Every click was emotion.
No consistency.
It's random commotion.
Slow down.
Wait for confirmation.
Patience brings clarity.
And retry one.
Then I found structure.
Inside the chaos,
Shockwave 15 gave the market a language.
or be highs or be lows.
Suddenly the drop started
Speaking in code,
9:45.
opening range like
No more random entries.
chasing every pop.
Midpoint clean with the borderlines map. Now I know exactly what price react to. Roll confirmation, keep emotions out.
And be test.
What conviction about?
Trade assistance, you guiding every move.
Now the system filter what's
Setups approved.
dashboard glowing gold.
Open that black.
Markets ain't sure when momentum
Intact.
gets me why.
QQQ hicks alive.
Now I'm trading with context.
Not a gambling mind.
TP1,
TP2, wonders breathe.
risk management.
Finally, KBP.
Smaller size, but the consistency grew. Cause discipline pay more than
Lucky move.
Shockwave 15 changed the way I see the charts.
From chaos to structure.
Every morning when it starts.
One system, 1 hour.
Now the pressure gone.
Used to chase candle, now I wait till price confirm.
No more gambling at the old.
Now the levels speak clear.
Shockwave 15 in motion.
Confusion into gear.
Master changing the old.
Now my mindset different.
Used to trade with emotion, now my execution scripted.
Now the market open calm when I sit down.
Don't need force trades.
What's the good involved
I
out?
wait for alignment.
Patience my head.
One clean set of worth more than
10 revenge.
Used to think more trades.
Spend was assessed.
Now I know protecting.
Capital was best.
Straight glider.
Think clear.
Move smarter.
Consistency, the real flex for a trader.
No chasing breakouts.
Better muscle now.
Now I let confirmation.
Do the job.
Price above EVA with momentum clean.
Now the market feels slower if you know what I mean.
One system.
Repeat it every day.
Mastery came when I
Stop changing pace.
no more hopping indicator.
Every week.
Had the edge built from discipline.
And repeat.
Shockwave 15.
Gave clarity to me.
Trying to charge from noise.
And the probability.
And the piece hit
When
different.
you go green.
Now my wrist was mining.
Do the whole thing.
Yeah.
Anybody can catch one lucky trade.
But consistency,
Consistency built different.
that come from,
Berkshire,
that come from,
Asia,
that come from.
Love Ivy,
Shockwave 15.
time to trade in the open.
Shockwave 15.
Takes away every design.
Shockwave 15.
Turn the future into gear.
Nasdaq trading the open.
One system, 1 hour a day. Trade safe, trade smart, and let discipline lead the way.
Tinker lip sound softly.
Government discipline.
Makers over greed.
Structure creates freedom.
Market close, bell rings.
Yeah. Smart action trading. Spot traders. We ain't chasing hype. We chasing structure. Look. I came from the bottom where the charts move reckless. Everybody online selling dreams, no direction. I was studying candles while they flexing their possessions. Now the whole team eating off discipline progression. See, the market don't care about emotion or your ego. One bad trade turn a winner to a zero. That's why I move calm, real surgical with the reload. Waiting on the setup, patience sharper than a needle. None of me, yeah, the pressure start building. Everybody over trading, I'm just watching how they feeling. Shockwave on the chart and the moment start revealing how the levels line up and the confidence appeal. I used to chase every move, now I'm focused on precision. Cut the noise out the room, made destruction my religion. Took losses on the chin, turned pain into tuition. Not a whole playbook, different when you trade with a vision. Structure over noise, yeah, we moving with a plan. Real traders build slow, we ain't rushing for the bands. That's my strikers in the building, put the discipline in hand. Smart action trading, yeah, we teach them how to stand. Structure over noise, we don't care when we prepare. Every boss another lesson, every win come from awareness. That's the motto every day. Consistency the mission. We just level up the play. See, I done seen the fake gurus come and go quick. Screenshots look good, but the lifestyle don't fit. We was in the trenches, really building through the losses. Level risk management before I ever taught profits. Now it's live streams, game plans, market breakdowns. Everybody's locked in. Why don't you can't stake now? AI tools, flow data, levels mapped out. Trade assist engine got the whole team spaced out. Ever needed man bows just to prove I got results. I learned to teach a trader how to never self-destruct. Cause one good system with discipline enough can change your whole life when the pressure gets tough. That's why the movement bigger than the Discord or the trade. It's a mindset shift. Watch the confidence get raised from beginner to advance. Every lesson get engraved and repeat refined. That's the way greatness made. Structure over noise, yeah, we mean from with a plan. Real traders build slow, we ain't rushing for the band. Structure over noise, yeah, we moving with a plan. Real traders build slow, they ain't rushing for the band. My strikers in the building, put the discipline in hand. Smart action trading, yeah, we teach them how to stand. Structure over noise, ni un tiempo y tu te. Every loss another lesson, every day come from awareness. That's the motto, everything. Consistency the mission, we just level up the place, yeah. SmartAction Trading, Shockwave 15. Let's buy strikers. Trade safe. Trade smart. And dominate.
Yeah. Smart action trading. SPY strategies. I've been in the charts long enough to know. Most traders don't lose from the market, they lose from themselves. Listen close. Yo. Devil trade big car. Number one, never risk more than you can survive. Cause blown accounts kill dreams before the vision arrive. Proverbs said the wise store oil for harder days. So I size my position just to preserve the play. These are trade commandments. Structure over emotion. Discipline and patience. Keep the account in motion. These are trade commandments. Pressure reveal your flaws. Market humble everybody that don't respect the law. Hey. Never
chase green candles after momentum extended. That's emotional entry disguised as confidence blended. Wait for support confirmation. Structure to align, cause impulsive decisions destroy portfolios over time.
These are trade commandments. Structure over emotion. Discipline and patience. Keep the account in motion. These are trade commandments. Track and reveal your laws. Market humble everybody that don't respect the laws.
Always use the stop loss, pride don't belong in trading. Ego hold losers while discipline stay patient. Proverbs say power before destruction every season. That's why I cut losses fast before emotional bleeding.
These are trade commandments. Never trade, need direction. Entry, target, invalidation before execution.
A trader without structure, like a ship with no sail, lost in volatility every time the market prevail.
Motion, money, ghost, farmers and able. See Greek like judgment make the spirit unstable.
Everybody want profit, but they know what they able. What profit a man gain if discipline disappear?
One emotional trade.
Can erase a whole year.
These are trade commandments. Structure over emotion. Discipline and patience. Keep the account in motion. These are trade commandments. Pressure reveal your flaws. Market humble like divided, they don't respect the laws.
Candlesticks speak if you're patient enough to listen. Long weak rejection tell you where momentum shifting. Support and resistance like the borders of war. Learn the language of the market before asking for more.
More trades don't mean more money.
That's illusion talk. Sometimes best position simply on and not to force. Ecclesiastes said there's a time for everything. Sometimes sit on your hands while I market do a thing.
Track every introit, combos, reason and mistake. Crack every introit, combos, reason and mistake.
The self-awareness, separate the wheat from the grape. With you the loss is deeper than the profit you made. That's our consistency, slowly get built every day.
Motion,
Whoa,
we the shared commandments. Structure over emotion. Discipline and notions. Keep the account in motion.
Fear and greed battle every trader alive. That's the sinful nature, trying to control your mind. Had to crucify revenge, trading deep inside. Cause emotional warfare make disciplined traders die.
These are trade commandments. Built from losses and scars. Discipline structure. Make the strongest of stars. These are trade commandments.
With the candles and prayers.
Smart action trading help you navigate the way.
Structure over and all.
That's the code every day.
Trade safe, trade smart, and dominate the play.
Never played the car.
Some days the market humble you. Some days it tests your spirit. The pressure reveal character. Though I walk through the valley, I got my hands through the storm now. Early morning, charts going in the dark room.
Candles flicker like lightning before monsoon.
Heart racing, futures jumping at the bell.
One bad trick can make a strong man fail.
Used to chase every breakout I could see. Greed had chains and them chains had me. Overtrading, revenging my soul.
Till the market took everything I stole.
Now I move with patience and discipline. Ever lost taught lessons from within. David in the valley with the sling and stone. No armor wrong, but he still stood strong.
Everybody
Laughing when your account's small. Same way Goliath up to David, y'all. But faith don't move by what eyes can't see.
one clean setup can change history.
Through the valleys I'll walk.
Pressure test my soul
Learn risk management.
before I touch the goal.
Every candle tell a story.
And this car became a lesson
God was building patience.
through every season.
Walk through the valley, I fear no red days. I got my hands when the market's sideways.
Giants
mind says we trying to force grace just to prove I'm right.
But pride destroy more accounts than fights.
Then I read Proverbs,
Slow in the night,
wise men move with patience.
and sunlight,
Started waiting for levels and
confirmation.
stop trading every manipulation.
Now the heel may line like a shepherd's staff. He walked cold in while the big hands crash.
Support and resistance like
Holding roll,
every breakout clean well.
volume growth,
5 school stones, it's my trading plan.
risk calculate.
Before I take a stand,
That's one thing David understood from the start.
biggest that'll always happen in the heart.
Where it goes,
Losses come, but don't lose yourself.
every test build endurance.
Every valley builds strength.
No fear,
No revenge trading.
no greed,
Just faith,
patience.
discipline.
Walk through the valley storms all around. Still hear peasant in the market sound. Every setback make the spirit strong. God been training me all along. Oh, giants fall when the faith don't shake. Pressure reveal what the soul don't make.
From the valley
To the mountaintop,
true traders learn when to stop.
stand firm.
Protect the capital,
Protect the spirit,
cause every trader fight giants.
but not every trader.
Trust God through the valley.
Fade out with quiet chanting.
Walk through the valley.
Fear no evil.
Giants fall.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah.
Smart action trading is by striker. Stay the course.
Stay the course.
The fruit don't grow the day you plant the seed.
Stay the course.
The market can bless you. The market can humble you.
Stay the course.
Green candles dancing, got the whole room alive. 3 wins in a row got me feeling like I can fly. But I've seen euphoria turn a blessing to a curse. When confidence outruns discipline, things get worse. Winning streaks whisper, you don't need the rules today. That's the same voice that slowly pulls the wise astray. The market don't care about the wins from last week. It rewards preparation after highs that we seek. Smart action trading. That's why strikers on the score, learning how to stay grounded when the days turn green. Because the danger ain't the losses everybody fears. Sometimes it's success that blinds your eyes and clouds your ears. I used to chase results, now I focus on execution. Because consistency is built through process, not emotion. Every chart a classroom, every candle got a lesson. Every session starts reminding me to stay invested in progression.
Back to the process, back to the way, back to the habits that carry the day. Green days come, green days go. Wisdom decides what remains when they go. Back to the process, back to the plan. Forever a student, that's who I am.
I remember empty rooms and talking to myself, building brick by brick when nobody else helped. Now the numbers look better, the lessons got larger, but success can become an even tougher teacher. Because pride grows quietly, it don't knock at the door, but slips in. Reminding me humility is stronger than it seems. The fool says,
I'm thinking it out.
I arrived, the wise.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Tesla's second quarter 2026 Q&A webcast. My name is Travis Axelrod, Head of Investor Relations, and I'm joined today by Elon Musk, Vaibhav Taneja, and a number of other executives. Our Q2 results were announced at about 3 p.m. Central Time in the update deck we published at the same link as this webcast. During this call, we will discuss our business outlook and make forward-looking statements. These comments are based on our predictions and expectations as of today. Actual events or results could differ materially due to a number of risks and uncertainties, including those mentioned in our most recent filings with the SEC. During the question and answer portion of today's call, please limit yourself to one question and one follow-up. Please use the raise hand button to join the question queue. Before we jump into Q&A, Elon has some opening remarks. Elon?
Thank you. So, yeah, it's been a great quarter. We achieved record Q2 deliveries. Model Y, I believe, is now, I think it's the best-selling car of any kind in the world, and is setting records across the board. So its popularity is increasing tremendously, and we're seeing in locations that have FSD approved, we're seeing a very high take rate of FSD, and in fact, I think for a lot of people, they're actually buying Tesla Full Self-Driving with a car attached, as opposed to a car with FSD. They're coming into our stores in the U.S. and saying they want the full self-driving, and with whatever car it comes with, essentially. So clearly, this is a significant demand driver, and as we get approval for FSD in different countries, I think we'll see a similar uptick in demand. Yeah, it's looking very good on that front. The energy business is also growing incredibly fast, and I think will be crucial for the scale-up of artificial intelligence data centers. We're investing a lot in growing the core business and really preparing for the future. So this is a massive capex year, but I'm confident that all the things that we're investing in are will yield incredible returns. Really, maybe the best capex returns that we've ever seen. And just the Tesla team has performed incredibly well. The Cybercab has started production, and we also have started production and are ramping in. Well, we will soon start production with Optimus. We have started production with the Tesla semi-truck. We will soon start production with Megapack 3. We've started production with the lithium refinery, the cathode refinery. We're scaling up battery cell production, and we're also preparing to do a massive solar panel, like solar cells and panel production. Actually, this is going all the way from silicon refinement to producing the solar cell, and then deployment of solar, because there's going to be tremendous need for electricity in the future due to electrification of transport and AI, obviously. So we're working on what we believe is the most ambitious build-out of advanced infrastructure and manufacturing capacity ever in history. It's a big deal. So with Robotaxi, our goals are very ambitious for Robotaxi, but we do need to be cautious about causing any accidents or causing any harm to anyone. Although there are, I think, 30 to 40,000 automotive deaths per year in the United States alone, most of those do not generate any press on it. You never really read about almost any of those. But if we injure even one person, it will be worldwide headline news, and regulators will immediately clamp down on our activities. So, and we don't want to injure anyone. So we're going as fast as humanly possible in scaling Robotaxi, but while trying to ensure that we do not harm anyone at all, and ideally do not even run over a pet. So that's really the constraint, is we want to grow as fast as possible with Robotaxi without harm to anyone. And we're providing live updates for robotaxi launch as we open up in a city. We immediately post that on X. So if you just follow the Tesla account on X, we'll keep you informed as we scale to new cities. We've opened up in a number of cities in Florida and in Texas, and obviously in the Bay Area. So we'll continue to scale, I think, very very rapidly with you know, it looks like more than 10% a week in terms of miles driven. So it's a very high compound growth rate. So let's see, Optimus. As you've heard me say before, I think Optimus will be the biggest product ever, but it is a very complex problem to solve. Um, it's one of the hardest things to solve, to make an autonomous humanoid robot that can do tasks that if you simply ask it to do something or show it a video, it can do the task without any programming. Um, like no one's ever achieved this, and there are many challenges in the electromechanical design of the robot to achieve sufficient dexterity and also be very reliable and have long wear and tear. Like meaning it needs to be out in the field and not break down. Otherwise, you've got sort of a 70-kilogram robot that just flopped over, and you got to carry it out like a body. You know, it doesn't have wheels. So and we don't want Optimus to go haywire. So it's a lot of work to scale to get the design right and to scale production. And I really want to emphasize here that the production scaling challenge is a very substantial. This is going to be the hardest product to scale manufacturing that we've ever made at Tesla, because everything on the robot is new, and the difficulty of scaling the production ramp is proportionate to the newness of the parts in the robot. And at least with electric cars, the non-electric powertrain portions of the cars had an existing supply chain. So you could go to existing suppliers for wheels and side mirrors and windshield glass and that kind of thing, body panels. But with Optimus, there is no supply chain. So we've had to build up a supply chain in its entirety, or in-house the production, and we've in-housed a tremendous amount. The Optimus production line that we're building out in Fremont, in place of what used to be the Model SX production, it looks incredible. I mean, it's quite stunning to see. Um, so, so I just want to make sure to calibrate people correctly. Optimus will follow the sort of normal S curve of manufacturing of a manufacturing ramp, but the initial portion of the X curve will be quite flat and long because of the newness of the parts in the robot. So now you've probably seen lots of impressive demonstrations of robots on the internet, but those demonstrations you're seeing are pre-programmed or remote controlled. So there is no humanoid robot that is actually able to do generalized tasks. Optimus will be the first one that is capable of doing that, where it's not just a demo; it's genuinely useful in day-to-day life. So, and Optimus is designed to have full human dexterity, so a hand that has the same level of dexterity, if not higher, than a human hand. And the human hand is an incredible thing. The more you study the human hand, the more amazing you realize how amazing hands are. It's more than just opposable thumbs. I mean, the nuances of how human hands work are amazing. As the closer you look, the more amazed you are. Um, and Optimus will have that capability. It'll have human and then superhuman dexterity. So it's really going to be quite something. Let's see, Terafab. The Terafab, we expect to announce the location soon, and provide more details about our plans in that regard, which we'll leave that to the product, sort of the launch announcement, rather than try to squeeze it into an earnings call, because I think this is a very big announcement, and it deserves to have its own sort of day in the spotlight and not be sort of squeezed into an earnings call. But I do think TerraFab is going to be an amazing initiative and a necessary one, and one without which we will be constrained in our ability to scale Optimus production, because we simply won't have enough AI chips. So it's crucial to solve that, and we'll have to solve memory, logic, and packaging in order to scale Optimus. So but anyway, like I said, we'll leave that to its own announcement. We've placed equipment orders for our development fab in Austin, and that development fab, I think, is pretty cool because it's intended to have lithography mask production, and then logic, memory, and packaging and chip testing all under one roof. So you can have a very fast iterative cycle, and try out new chip designs very quickly and see if they work. I don't think such a building exists anywhere on Earth. So this is really going to be super helpful as we try some exciting, adventurous, high risk, high payoff bets on AI chips. But it's focused, like I said, on primarily on Optimus. Like, how do we make Optimus as useful as possible? Then we have digital Optimus, which is basically just driving a computer screen. I guess you could call it computer use or something like that, but driving a computer screen in the same way that you drive a car. So for the car, it's sort of pixels in or photons in and controls out. The same thing is true for Optimus, digital Optimus. It's photons in, controls out. So we feel confident we can adapt the same Tesla AI technology that we developed for self-driving cars to have a self-driving computer screen, or self-driving computer, essentially. So the self-driving computer, where the Tesla, the very low cost Tesla AI 4 computer can handle all of the sort of short-term tasks. They're doing real-time video control of the screen of the computer. So it's not like screenshots type of thing. It's real-time video at high frame rate. And digital Optimus will be important, obviously, for physical Optimus, because physical Optimus needs to be able to operate computers. It can't come up to a touchscreen and not know what to do. It's got to have a generalized touchscreen and computer use capability. So that's looking promising. Then this is in partnership with SpaceX. SpaceX's Grok, sort of the big model that is kind of like the manager of digital Optimus, and kind of tells digital Optimus what to do, provides it with a series of tasks, and then digital Optimus goes and does those tasks. We're also building out a megapod design that has Tesla AI 4 computers with x86. So pairing an x86 computer with the Tesla AI 4 computer in a box. And it's kind of just digital Optimus in a box. And in a megapod, kind of like the Megapack packaging. And so where we put just a large number of AI 4 plus x86 combos in a giant box, essentially. And that these boxes can be placed anywhere in the country or outside the country. And this allows us to scale AI compute using disaggregated electricity production. So because there's lots of places all around the world, including at our superchargers. I think we've got something like 7 gigawatts of power at our superchargers and growing. And we can superchargers and have distributed power for AI. So I think that could be quite a big deal. So in conclusion, we're super excited about our autonomy and robotics roadmap. There's so much awesome stuff coming. It's like I said, hard to squeeze into an earnings call. But we'll have a lot of product announcements. And this is going to be a great year for Tesla. I think one of our best years ever. And then I think next year will be even better. So in conclusion, I want to thank the Tesla team for their excellent execution and all of our supporters for joining us in this journey. Thank you.
Great. Thanks so much, Elon. And now Vaibhav has some opening remarks.
Thanks, Travis. So Q2 continued the trend that we saw at the end of Q1, a resurgence in demand for vehicles across the globe. We achieved record Q2 deliveries globally with sequential growth across the Americas, APAC, and EMEA of 60%, 27%, and 12% respectively. Additionally, Model Y set records in several key markets, including the Netherlands, Australia, and New Zealand. The efforts of the Tesla team to create compelling products at a reasonable price with the capability of autonomous driving are coming to fruition. We exited Q2 with our largest order backlog since 2023. We are therefore focused on increasing production at all our factories to meet this growing demand. Production growth will be limited by our supply chain. This includes not just batteries, but also electronic components. We've been here before, and like always, our Tesla team is working actively to unblock the obstacles ahead by securing strategic deals with suppliers. Like Elon mentioned, one of the key factors for vehicle demand has been FSD. Our sales data suggests one of the main reasons customers are coming and looking at the car is because of FSD. In Q2, we had in North America, about 55% of our deliveries had FSD subscription at the time of delivery enabled. Overall, FSD attach rates continue to improve, reaching nearly 1.5 million paid customers globally, of which 55% is upfront purchases and the remaining 45% is subscriptions. We expect that the bulk of the growth in FSD monetization will come from subscriptions as we've removed the purchase option in most markets. Automotive margins, excluding regulatory credits, declined sequentially from 19.2% to 16.3%. As a reminder, we had highlighted in Q1 that we had a $230 million benefit from warranty true-downs and some tariff relief, which did not repeat in Q2. Controlling for the impact of those benefits from the prior quarter, our automotive gross margins, excluding credits, would have been approximately flat. This demonstrates the effective pricing and cost management done by the Tesla team as we continue to drive demand. Commodity price increases and interest rate changes all continue to add to our costs. Note that interest rate subvention costs are recognized upfront as revenue offset. So as interest rates have risen this year, the cost of subvention has risen along with them, which had a negative impact on automotive margins. As we have previously noted, energy business is inherently lumpy. Deployments are tied to customer timelines and largely out of our control. In Q2, we deployed 13.5 gigawatt hour of energy storage, a 53% sequential increase, and the second largest quarter for energy business. Despite this growth, energy gross margins declined from 39.5% to 20.4%. This margin decline was a result of several dynamics. First, there was a warranty true-up in the quarter of about $240 million related to certain vendor cell issues for our legacy deployments. Also, the tariff benefits we recognized in Q1 of more than $200 million did not repeat. And lastly, we had previously guided that ASPs for industrial storage is coming down amidst growing competition. Long term, we believe the energy business should normalize at a gross margin rate in the mid to low 20% range. Our order backlog of this business is robust, and we are doing our best to build based on both existing demand and future demand we expect from data center growth and overall electrification of the economy. Service and other margins improved sequentially from 9.2% to 14.1%, an all-time high. This was mainly driven by an uptick in volume and better cost management of our vehicle fleet that supports businesses such as used car, supercharging, service centers, and insurance. While marginal today, also included in this business are deliberate investments we are making in infrastructure that will help scale robotaxi in the future. We continue to grow the Tesla robotaxi fleet and have expanded to a total of 7 markets in the US. We expect the ramp of the fleet to accelerate throughout the year, along with expansion into new US markets. As previously guided, operating expenses increased sequentially. The increase came primarily from significant research and development related activities, including pre-production ramp costs for new products like the semi-truck, Optimus, Cybercab, and other AI initiatives, as well as depreciation for an additional compute that we brought online. Additionally, we had charges related to litigation expenses in the quarter. Note that we are in a big investment cycle and expect our operating expenses, largely driven by R&D, to continue to grow in 2026 and beyond. Net income was positively impacted by a mark-to-market gain of $1 billion on our SpaceX holdings, which was offset by losses on FX of approximately $300 million and on Bitcoin of about $100 million. As previously guided, our free cash flow ended up being negative for the quarter. Most of the reason for it going negative is because CapEx more than doubled sequentially, and we expect it to increase further in the second half of 2026. We continue to expect that CapEx for this year will be more than $25 billion. CapEx will grow for the next 2 or 3 years as we expand our robotaxi fleet, expand our production capacity for Optimus, make investments for semiconductor fab, install solar manufacturing capacity, and AI compute infrastructure, in addition to all the other expansions we'll do for other manufacturing for automotive. In addition to using our cash for such investments, we are being opportunistic in securing certain debt facilities that will give us the capacity to borrow up to $30 billion to help accelerate such investments. We believe this is the right strategy to position the company for the next era, and we'll always make such investment in a very capital efficient manner. The path to amazing abundance is ever challenging and requires making bold bets. Our progress will be non-linear. The future is going to be great, and we are ready to rise to the occasion. I would like to end by thanking the Tesla team, our customers, investors, and suppliers for their confidence in us on this journey.
Thanks so much, Vaibhav. As everyone on the call may have noticed, we've covered several of the Say.com questions already in opening remarks, including Optimus production, Terafab, and Digital Optimus. Ashok is joining us today, our VP of AI, and he's going to cover questions related to robotaxi. Ashok?
Thank you, Travis. Many of the questions on Say.com relate to robotaxi deployment and scaling, so we thought we'd provide a comprehensive view of where we are now and where we are going in the future. First of all, I'd like to state that the robotaxi program has been operating extremely well. Especially in terms of safety, the program has had an impeccable safety record. We have driven more than 380,000 miles of unsupervised robotaxi, now across 6 cities in 2 different states. We have had 0 notable incidents. Any reports have been of other actors impacting us when we were stationary. Again, I like to emphasize how safe the operation has been so far. 0 notable incidents over 380,000 miles. Historically, the so-called experts have always claimed that you need LiDARs, radars, HD maps, and the entire kitchen sink to drive safely. Here we show that such is not true. You can have safe, comfortable, and affordable autonomy with just cameras. This record should be a huge validation of Tesla's entire AI approach. Second, I'd like to discuss scaling. We started the robotaxi program roughly a year ago in Austin. We had safety monitors in the passenger seats of the cars back then. Around the end of last 40% of those tracks merged together, and that's what's running in the fleet right now. As we continue to complete our work on V15, we will see that the car is going to be ridiculously safe and capable. We're already seeing internal signs that all of these bets that we have made for technology improvements are all continuing to are all starting to work, and we expect that the payoff will be huge, and that's what is going to help us sustain the same growth rate through the rest of this year and so on. Finally, regarding the CyberCab, first of all, it's a phenomenal product. Anyone who rides in it instantly falls in love with the experience. We have aligned our manufacturing targets to roughly match the projected growth rate of the unsupervised miles. The same V15 models that power the Model Y and other platforms will also work on CyberCabs. In conclusion, robotaxi growth so far has been literally exponential while keeping an impeccable safety record. Our technology bets are paying off, helping us sustain the exponential growth for the foreseeable future, and the CyberCab is going to be awesome.
That's great. Thanks so much, Ashok. And there was one remaining question on data collection for Optimus training. Would you mind covering that as well?
Yep, definitely. Regarding Optimus, especially Gen 3, Optimus has been designed to not just match the appearance of human beings, but also the functionality and dexterity of humans. One of the main reasons for this approach is that having the human form factor and function allows us to learn from humans on how to perform a wide variety of tasks. This opens up the entire world to provide data for training Optimus. Just like FSD, we have access to a broad fleet of humans giving us data from all of the workers at our factory. Optimus can learn quite a bit from observing them perform their tasks at the factories. We also have a dedicated data collection team who can provide a relatively small amount but of very high quality demonstrations to do the post-training of these models. This is all on top of any training we can do off of the entire internet of data that shows demonstrations of people doing various tasks, both in industrial settings and home settings. The second flywheel is when we have a large number of Optimus robots practicing their tasks in what we call the Optimus Academy. The data from the bots experiencing the tasks themselves will be invaluable and help us close any minor form factor gaps that may exist between the bot and the humans. This is also when the reinforcement learning loop kicks in, where the bot initially attempts some tasks, fails sometimes, learns from both the successes and failures of those tasks, and eventually learns to master those tasks at perhaps a superhuman level. Our AI strategy for Optimus is aligned with the same. It's the same end-to-end strategy that drives FSD, pixels in, controls out. And just like FSD, we expect it to work broadly. In FSD, you can get in the car, type in an address, and then hit start, and it's like handles all of driving from park to park. And the same thing is going to be true for Optimus as well. You're going to just ask it to do anything, and then it should just perform the entire task on its own without you having to do anything along the way. And it's the same team that produced the FSD, the V12, 13, 14, and now V15 software that now works on Optimus as well. Hence, I'm very confident that Optimus will be an extremely capable robot.
Great. Thank you so much, Ashok. So that covers the say.com questions. Now we will move over to analyst questions. The first question comes from Tom from RBC. Tom, please feel free to unmute yourself when you're ready. Tom, you're still on mute, so please unmute yourself and go ahead and ask your question. All right, we're not getting any audio from Tom at the moment, so we will try to move on to Andrew, and we'll add Tom back to the queue to come in next. So Andrew, as soon as you can, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Awesome. Thanks so much for taking the question. So maybe just to start out on Optimus, Elon, you mentioned that there's really no supply chain today for Optimus, so you've had to mostly insource a lot of that yourself. I'm just curious, as you've gone through this exercise, are you seeing any suppliers willing to invest alongside you to set up domestic manufacturing to potentially help you scale more quickly in the U.S.? Asking that in the context of obviously you want to control your own destiny to some extent and ramp as quickly as possible, but from an investment cycle standpoint, potentially more capital efficient to have some partners help you along the way. So I'm just curious how you're thinking about that and some of the dialogue you've had with potentially some external suppliers.
Elon, you may be on mute right now. We can't hear you.
So yeah, our supplies have been great, and they've made they have made and are making tremendous investments in support of Optimus and robotaxi and whatnot. Samsung and TSMC in particular are building fabs. TSMC in Arizona and Samsung in Texas, and putting in tens of billions of dollars to build AI compute for Optimus and robotaxi. Panasonic has also invested many billions in increasing battery cell production. I'm a little under the weather here. I'm a bit ill, so if I sound a little off, I'm kind of struggling with I'm a little bit ill today. So yeah, but our partners have been great, and I'd like to thank them for their support and their investment and their hard work.
Great,
Go ahead,
thanks for that. And maybe just as a
So,
follow-up.
sorry, Andrew, we're going to have Karn hop in here for additional color briefly.
Yeah, just to add to Elon's point, that the Samsung fab that's going to be pretty significantly dedicated to future projects. That's a massive investment, multi-billion-dollar. We're seeing the same level of investment going into memory, and also new specific parts like metal injection molded parts, flexible printed circuits, and all sorts of novel new technologies that are more based for the robot as opposed to the traditional vehicle supply chain we've had. And in certain cases where we don't find a great partner, we've never hesitated from insourcing it, and we have a very capable manufacturing engineering team and a design team that helps us scale those things.
Yeah, and actually, I'd also like to thank Micron for giving us a memory allocation. They've got to make some very tough decisions on memory allocation, and we really appreciate Micron making room for Tesla in the years to come, and giving us actually a very significant allocation on reasonable terms, given the pretty insane pricing of memory these days.
Great, really appreciate that color. And maybe just my follow-up on robotaxis. You guys gave a lot of great information in your prepared remarks, but there seems to be some evolving regulations at the state level, potentially around sensor requirements. So I'm just curious, as you think about your own rollout, what do you want to see, or what do you need to see from regulators to make sure that, obviously some regulation might be good, but you don't want it to be over-regulated. So what are you expecting to see? What do you want to see to make sure that this is, done in a proper way?
And we've got Lars on the line. Lars, if you wouldn't mind covering this one, if you can.
Yeah, sure, Travis. I mean, I think, when we talk about regulation, particularly in the US, we've made a lot of headway. Just good initiatives from the federal government in terms of the FMVSS rules, moving towards, acceptance and adoption of purely built AVs. And I really appreciate the support from NHTSA on that. When it comes to like a state to state level, obviously the stuff in New Jersey, you know, is a little bit disheartening. I think ultimately, as Ashok said in his opening remarks, we really focus on the performance of the vehicle, and ultimately that's what's going to drive regulators and the public to adopt it. I think the best regulations are those that provide companies and innovators with a goal or a task and allow us to figure out the solution. And when we see regulations that provide a solution before identifying the problem, we really don't, appreciate those. But as Tesla always has and will continue to do, we'll let our performance speak for itself. And I think Ashok laid that out really clearly, and that'll be the foundation of our expansion moving forward.
Great. Thanks for the questions.
Thanks so much. We're going to try Tom again from RBC. Tom, can you unmute and try to speak, please? Unfortunately, Tom, we see you unmuted, but we're not hearing you, so we're going to have to send you back into the queue. Next is Alex from Bank of America. Alex, as soon as you can, please unmute yourself.
Hey, thanks for the questions here. Just a few follow-ups on Robotaxi, actually. I guess what milestones should investors be watching from here that would cause you to accelerate your fleet scaling or market deployments? Is it the further safety validation, like a miles driven per incident or something else? And then would you ever consider third-party distribution partnerships, such as with rideshare providers, to increase utilization, or is the plan for now to keep Robotaxi fully vertically integrated? Thanks.
Yeah, we expect to be vertically integrated with Robotaxi as we are in the rest of our business. So I don't think we're going to have any demand challenges with Robotaxi. So this is but the economics will be so compelling that I think we will really have a lot more desire to use the service than like I think demand will outstrip our ability to service the demand. And so obviously there's no you can just go vertical in that situation. So it's really just about going through and what we call the march of nines of reliability, where you need like how many nines of reliability do you need to scale? Ideally you want 99.99999% reliable, and so it's just the march of nines of reliability is I think the only thing really constraining our growth in Robotaxi.
Great. Thanks, Elon. The next question is going to come from Colin at Wells Fargo. Colin, please unmute yourself when you're ready.
Oh, great. Thanks for taking my questions. There's been a lot of chatter about SpaceX and Tesla combining in some way. I mean, a lot of collaboration already today. I mean, Elon, do you see synergies eventually from combining the companies? And does that make sense from your perspective over time?
Well, I mean, as you can tell from all the many collaborations on so many fronts with SpaceX, and there's a lot there's more and more overlap, especially with Terafab. That's really going to be a gigantic project. So, but obviously we can't talk about combining companies and that kind of thing on an earnings call. It's got to be done with the appropriate process. And with that, I'll turn it over to Brandon, our General Counsel.
Yeah, no, thanks, Elon. And that's exactly right. We continue to benefit from our relationship with SpaceX, and they've been a great partner, and we have numerous beneficial transactions with them. And earlier this year, we deepened our relationship through an investment and a framework agreement. And this will allow us to continue to work with them on projects that Elon mentioned, like Terafab and Digital Optimus.
Yeah, and there's many other things too. Obviously, you've got Grok in the car, and and Grok helping drive digital optimists. You've also got Starlink being integrated into the Cybercab, and Starlink will be integrated into all of our vehicles, at least for markets that Starlink is active. Because for a robotaxi situation, you need to have coverage everywhere, and there are many places, even in Silicon Valley, where the cellular coverage is terrible or sometimes non-existent, which is surprising for Silicon Valley. But I know when I drive to work, those first 10-15 minutes, I can't actually do any calls because the cellular connectivity is so bad. So we can't have robotaxis getting stuck in these like Bermuda triangles of lack of cellular connectivity. So Starlink, with its ability to do connectivity anywhere, is actually quite important. So we don't have robotaxis missing in action. And then obviously, if people are sitting in the car, they're going to want to do high productivity stuff or what entertainment. And with Starlink, you can watch 4K live sports in the car, and with very low cost per gigabyte of data. That's really not feasible via the cellular system. And there's many other situations.
Yeah, I mean, I would say think of it like Ashok was mentioning about Cybercab, right? That the experience is great. In a world when you don't have to focus on driving, you have all the time in the car to do, whether it's a conference call, watch a movie or anything. That's why if you look at the Cybercab design, it has a big screen, and we've started doing Cybercab rides in our factory in Austin. And when you go through that experience, I mean, soon customers would be able to do it in not too distant future, and then you'll understand why that connectivity becomes so important.
Great. And then, Colin, did you have a follow-up?
Yeah, just if I would follow up on robotaxi, if I look at the launches, you've been adding cities, but the number of units is still, looks like based on media reports, sort of in the dozens as opposed to hundreds. Why not just sort of scale up Austin or one or two cities before adding cities, and sort of what do you need to sort of get that higher volume numbers in a major city? What sort of is the roadblock to sort of adding more vehicles on the ground?
Yeah, the reason we have been expanding across different cities instead of just doubling down on a single city is that we want to make sure that our stack is a very general one. It is a general one. We just want to both prove to ourselves and to other folks that it is working across a lot of different cities without too much effort per city. And that's what we see internally. And then, as Elon mentioned earlier, the growth rate has been literally exponential. Just it's in the early part of the exponential. That's why it's hard for others to comprehend. In terms of like miles versus the vehicles, since these vehicles operating the robotaxi fleet drive basically continuously, as opposed to human drivers who use vehicles for maybe a couple hours a day or something like that, these vehicles are in mostly continuous operation, which means that even for a few vehicles, you can get a lot of miles out of them. And that's why we are tracking the amount of unsupervised miles or just the number of vehicles or something like that. And we want to be operating in a very efficient fleet. So all of the work that goes into the efficiency makes it even more so that we get a lot of miles per vehicle available in the fleet.
Yeah, and just to add further to this, I'm like, think of it, we're trying to scale this, and we're trying to make sure that there are different kinks which would be there, and there are things not just on the software front, on the operation front, which we're also trying to tackle. So that's why we're trying to have a broader footprint to try and make sure before we go really high in terms of deployment, that we are able to sort these things out in a smaller fleet in a controlled manner.
Yeah, one of the things for Cybercab should be noted is because it is a new vehicle chassis, we need to accumulate driving data that is specific to the Cybercab before we can put a lot of them on the road. So unlike say Model 3, Model Y, and our other vehicles where we've got a lot of vehicles on the road, millions of vehicles on the road, we don't have that for subcaps, so we actually have to accumulate miles with subcaps that are retrofitted with steering wheels and brakes, acceleration, braking pedals, that kind of thing, to calibrate to the Cybercap chassis. So you'll see as we are confident about that, the number of Cybercaps in cities will increase dramatically.
Great. Our next question is going to come. Oh, yeah, go ahead, Lars.
If I can just add like one thought here. The other reason I just want to like point out is, you know, like TCO, transportation regulatory situations are different city by city, state by state. It is not a federal, you know, framework to do that. And so like the reason we're expanding city by city is to make sure that we're meeting all of those one at a time, and we're satisfying, you know, all of the requests of each individual city and you know, in every way we can. So we have to expand, you know, to each city to meet those requirements, and we'll continue to do so. And until all of what Ashok and Vaibhav and Ashok said, we'll follow with the scaling.
Thanks, Lars. The next question is coming from Walt from Lightshed. Walt, please unmute yourself.
Thanks. Just a quick follow-up for that Lars comment. I mean, the NHTSA administrator, Jonathan Morrison, was just on CNBC. You know, he already, you know, was trying to get rid of the pedal and said, I forget his exact term, but it seemed like he wanted to get rid of the steering wheel. It seemed like that would be a gating factor. But is there other things that you need at the federal level to really kind of unlock your ability to ramp Cybercab?
I mean, the short answer is no. I mean, I think we have a great relationship with NHTSA and you know, Director Administrator Morrison especially. And you know, I think they're just following through with what you know, the public wants and the world knows is coming, and they're trying to stay ahead of it and make sure that, you know, they're doing the right things in place. So you know, we've been open and honest with them for the last couple of years about what our plans were and what we're doing. And yeah, I don't want to say we're in lockstep, but you know, I feel like we have a partner there, and we're working together on it.
Got it. And then just Elon, it's kind of a roadmap question, I guess. Starlink obviously is integrated in Cybercab, and you guys just talked about the connectivity for watching movies. But what about the flip side of that? Can the Cybercabs become remote hotspots for Starlink Mobile? And then similarly, roadmap question on the Semi. You know, when do you anticipate looking at autonomy for the Semi? Because that seems like a pretty sizable market as well in terms of autonomous trucking and the need for it, given what's going on in our country right now.
Yeah, absolutely. There, as you allude to, there is a really serious shortage of truckers. So there just aren't enough people around who want to drive trucks, which are crucial for transport throughout America. So an autonomous Semi is actually going to be very important to address the shortage of truck drivers. And obviously will be great for improving safety and you know, making it easier on truck drivers to have a self-driving Semi is going to, yeah, I think dramatically improve safety and comfort for truck drivers that you know, yeah, use this as a Semi. You know, since the units, the total number of units of the Tesla Semi is still low and will continue to be a very small percentage even by the end of this year of our total vehicle fleet, it makes sense for us to focus our efforts, our self-driving efforts, on our high volume vehicles, so Model 3 and Y, and solving self-driving and really getting to, you know, the point where it's generalized, unsupervised self-driving for those vehicles, and Cybercab. So we expect to get self-driving working on the Tesla Semi probably around the end of this year or early next year. But I just don't want it to be a distraction on the, you know, on the march of nines of self-driving, of safety for self-driving on 3Y and Cybercab. That's so that it's taking a bit of a backseat for the next 6 months or so for autonomous semi, but it will be, you know, it will definitely be a bit working next year and in time for the scale up to high production of Tesla Semi. For communications, yeah, I think there's an interesting angle there where you could use the Starlink terminals that are in the Tesla cars as like sort of cell towers, I suppose, or connectivity towers, basically for providing relays on the ground to cell phones and to yeah, anyone who would like Wi-Fi, basically. But yeah, I mean, it's a different subject, but obviously one could do that with the stationary Starlink terminals too.
All right. Our next question is going to come from Will at Truist. Will, please unmute yourself.
Great. Thanks so much for taking my question. Elon, you teased us a little bit about sort of the supply chain relative to Optimus, highlighting how difficult it's going to be, but we'd be really interested to understand what your propensity is to manufacture semis for this yourself. When we think about microprocessors, microcontrollers, actuators, and other semiconductors that are going to be used, it occurs to me that you have many that are commercially available. You have an option to design some but have them made at third-party fabs. You also have the option potentially to design and make them yourself. What should we think about your propensity to source these components in these different manners?
You're talking about like making like microcontrollers and small, like the various computers that are in the car that operate, you know, like the steering system and the braking system.
No,
that kind.
I'm talking about for Optimus, not for
Yeah.
not for the car.
Yeah. Optimus has a lot of really specialized power electronics and circuit boards. It's all Tesla design stuff, but it is fabricated by suppliers. For Optimus 4, which will be built in Austin, that will be a much more vertically integrated supply system for Optimus 4, and that would, you know, we'd aim to have an order of magnitude more production of Optimus 4 than Optimus 3. So it's sort of aspirationally 10 million units a year versus a million units a year of Optimus 3. But you know, with all the caveats there, which is insanely difficult to scale production. So and yeah, Optimus 4 will be much more vertically integrated. So probably doing a lot of the sort of PCB work in-house for that.
As a follow-up, well, first, maybe you could talk about the timing as to when Optimus 4 should be should, let's say, start production. But the actual follow-up I wanted to ask was the plan to upgrade hardware 3 to hardware 4 in order to be able to process. I suppose it's version 15 of the and future versions of FSD. Is that still the plan to do hardware upgrades on the cars?
I think it's going to make sense to upgrade all cars with that are have less than hardware for almost all, any cars that have cameras, basically, because otherwise I think probably too many modifications. But anything that's got sort of that's set up for cameras, it'll be financially sensible at some point to upgrade them. But I think we'd want to upgrade them to the next generation of you know, like next generation AI board. So it'll be either like we have an upgraded AI4 chip that's sort of a medium, sort of a moderate improvement over AI4, probably reaches production around the middle of next year. And then there's also AI5, which hopefully is in volume production around the middle of next year. AI5 will initially go into Optimus. And actually making very good progress. So the Tesla chip team is really doing great work, and making incredibly fast progress on AI5, and I'm very excited about the design of the Tesla AI6 chip. I think it's going to be the best edge computing chip in the world. And if somebody's got a better one, I'd like to meet that person and shake their hand because the AI6 chip is just so good. So I think things are going really well on the chip front. Yeah, and again, I'd like to thank TSMC and Samsung and Micron for the support.
Great. We are coming up on the hour, but we're gonna try to squeeze Dan in. So from Barclays, Dan, please unmute yourself.
Great. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'd like to ask about the pace and path of CapEx. Elon, in the past, you've said that you'll spend as much as you can, but really efficiency seems like it's the gating factor. So, to what extent right now in this CapEx cycle is your pace of CapEx effectively capped simply because spending any more would be done in an inefficient manner? And to what extent is the pace of CapEx really the primary determinant right now in unlocking the different supply constraints that you have?
Yeah, it's a good question. I've actually, my what I've asked the Tesla team to do is like really we should be spending on CapEx as fast as we can spend, as fast as we can without it being too wasteful. So we're not trying to aim for like some e- extremely high efficiency capital spend because that would slow things down. So it's a balance between like how much sort of capital efficiency versus time. So if we can be, it's okay to be a little less capital efficient if we get things done sooner, because that's actually going to be the higher NPV outcome for the company. So overall, I'm pretty happy with how things are going. I mean, we're doing an incredible amount of construction and production growth in so many different arenas simultaneously. I don't think there's ever been a company that's done this at the scale, maybe proportionately back when Henry Ford did the Model T or something like that, but or World War II when companies were making it had to sort of scale up weapons production. But I think probably this is the fastest industrial scale up since World War II in America.
Yeah, and I will just add a little bit on that. Basically, if you look at it, all our spend on CapEx is trying to do productive assets, right? We're basically scaling factories, whether it's Optimus, whether it's Cybercab, whether it's LFP factory, which went into operation earlier this year, or the semi factory, or even putting in a semiconductor fab in there, as well as, we are trying to get a lot of solar manufacturing in the US. In fact,
Yeah,
our
very important.
plants,
Yeah, this is underrated, by the way.
yeah,
Please go ahead.
yeah. I was going to, yeah, basically, the amount of solar manufacturing which happens in the US, we're just going to multiply it with an order of magnitude. And none of these things are easy, right? Because what you have to do is, in order to build a factory, you have to start from ground zero. So, just so you know, again, I don't think we have shared this. We end up being the general contractor for almost all our construction facilities because we are doing that much construction. And so, going back to what Elon was saying, we're going at a very rapid scale. And yes, this means that we are doing a lot of things all at the same time, and that's why we just have to go as fast as we can, humanly make things work in the real world.
Yeah, but our capex efficiency, I think, is off scale good.
Already. And then Dan, did you have a follow up that we can wrap up with?
Yeah, maybe just a quick question on energy storage, which I think is a key topic here. Maybe you can just address, to what extent is energy storage going to be supply constrained for the foreseeable future, and then just to what extent are the deployments right now the typical peak shaving that you'd see at utilities versus you've talked about in some of your materials, for battery storage, addressing the quality of power issue for data centers, given the sharp fluctuations in
Yeah.
power use, where you have an advantage given software or power electronics. So just what is that demand curve right now between data centers versus just broader peak shaving for utilities?
Well, it's still mostly it's not just peak shaving, but it's also grid balancing. So it's not just like the packs are on briefly, but for balancing power from um, wind generation and solar generation, batteries are awesome. I mean, the solar battery combination will be how the vast majority of energy in the world is produced in the future. That's already, of course, how all of the Starlink satellites are powered, is with solar panels and batteries. So, and you can just think of Earth like a giant satellite. There's far more power available from the sun than anything else by far. Um, and we think power constraints are going to be there already are a major issue for AI. Just turning on the AI computers, the AI compute demand is so high that people are having even the so-called the hyperscalers are having trouble turning on their their AI compute and finding the power and then smoothing the power with especially for the training runs where the power cycles dramatically in a very short period of time. You can have during a training run the power consumption can drop by 70% for 100 milliseconds, and you really need fast acting advanced power electronics to be able to um, smooth out these massive uh, the massive changes in power, especially during their training runs. So that's why SpaceX has bought so many megapacks for the data centers. It's actually mostly for smoothing out the power for the training runs. But it will also be useful for being able to tap more power from the grid by if you tell utilities that they can you know cut that they will not need to supply power during the the worst hours or the worst days of the year because the batteries can handle it, then that makes it much easier for them um, to give you power. In fact, I mean probably the best way to scale total energy production in the United States is simply using batteries, because there's I think around 1.2 or 1.3 terawatts of power production in the US, but the average power usage is only half a terawatt. So you've got 2.5 times as much power generation as the average usage. That means you could potentially double the energy output of the United States just with batteries. So really we see demand for Megapack being very, very high in the future.
Alrighty. That is all the time we have for today for Q&A. We appreciate everyone's questions, and we look forward to talking to you next quarter. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks, everyone.